Hello and welcome back, folks. This is it, the final round of the 2023 PDGA Amateur Disc Golf World Championships. Once again, I'm Paavo Stubstad with Central Coast Disc Golf, and my co-commentator here is Jake Peters, also with Central Coast Disc Golf.
Thank you very much, Paavo. I'm very excited to wrap up this epic event.
As we saw in earlier rounds, and I talked about, the players and staff and media have all been dealing with round cancellations and delays and lightning and poor air quality. This tournament has really been something else, really draining on all of the competitors, I'm sure. This final round, because of all the lightning storms and more in the forecast in the afternoon, is taking place much earlier in the day than a final round lead card typically tees off, despite the fact that these players played the second half of their third round at 6 a.m. the same morning. So they finished up their third round starting at 6 a.m., finishing around 8:30 or 9, and they had to be out on the course, a different course, at 11 a.m. to start this final round at Northwood Blue in hopes of finishing before thunderstorms that were in the forecast for the afternoon. Going into the final round here, taking a look at our top 10, we've got Axel Olson and Owen Hamilton tied at 10 down for first place, and then tied for third, we've got Chancey Green, who's new to coverage for this event. He has not made lead card or feature card for any of the previous rounds, tied with Carson Smith, and rounding out our 5-person lead card, we've got Daniel Mills. Starting off here on hole 1, it's a 312-foot par 3, nice and straight off the tee with a fade to the right at the end if you're throwing a forehand, which really is what the whole shape's best for, but you can make a hyzer flip backhand work as well.
Daniel.
Chancey.
Do you guys have the order that is showing on the scorecard?
Yeah, I got it.
First on the tee from Mercer Island, Washington, Axel Olson.
And an interesting note about Axel that I didn't mention in earlier rounds because I wasn't aware of it till Keenan Dalton, our slow-mo camera operator, you see there off to the left, notified me this morning. He took second place at the Junior World Championships in the 18 and under division last year in 2022. Nice flip up forehand there.
Oh, settle.
Up next from Duxbury, Massachusetts, Owen Hamilton.
How do you feel about the final round being at this course, Paavo?
You know, I don't mind it. It's kind of more of a birdie or die course than the other courses we've seen at this event thus far, but I like the variety. I like the fact that even though this, what was planned to be a 5-round event ended up only being 3, or only ended up being 4.
Vandalia, Missouri, Chancey Green.
It only ended up being 4 rounds. I like that we get to see 3 different courses, and honestly, I'm a huge fan of both courses here at Northwood Park, so it's going to be fun to see Northwood Blue on coverage.
Absolutely. This is a really neat course.
Yeah. Chancey Green trying to make the backhand work.
Up next from Worthington, Ohio, Carson Smith.
Carson Smith, we saw him in the previous round, and he's back or still on lead card here for the final round.
Trying to get that turnover to work for him, not quite.
And finishing off the 11-10 card from Lynchburg, Virginia, Daniel Mills.
Great shirt, by the way.
Yeah, I love it. Yep, he's lining up the forehand as well, which, as I said, definitely the shot shape that works best for this hole, in my opinion.
Oh, no.
Good low.
First throw jitters.
Yeah, I would imagine this is probably Chancey's and Daniel's first time on video, if I had to guess, so there might be some camera jitters at play. I would also guess that Chancey Green is not related to Peter Green, who we saw on our round 1 and 2 feature cards, despite sharing a last name. They do not look alike at all.
No, they don't.
Carson chipping it up there. Should have a par. Here's Chancey.
Check up.
Yeah, it is a steep, fast green. Definitely the most challenging part of this hole is sticking the green and not sliding or rolling too far down that hill. Now, this is a scary putt to run. Is Owen running it? is. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I'm surprised. Tied for the lead on the first hole. Axel's not parked for birdie. Like, why run a 50-footer death putt? But I don't know. Oh, man, then he misses the upshot, too. Rough start for Owen here. Too bad. And here's Axel. After an ace run, he's way down the hill.
Leaves it a bit short there.
A little bit of a tester left for par. And here we've got Owen for bogey.
Oh, man. Not how you want to start, but let's see if you can bounce back. Good putt.
Yep, good par save from Daniel there.
Nice to see some new faces out here.
Sit. Oh, man, I thought that was going to the bottom of the hill, too. Solid putt. Good par save from Carson there. And here's Axel to save his par.
Yep.
And Owen with the double bogey, Chancey with the single bogey. The green just makes it kind of a tough starting hole. The drive isn't too bad, but it's just so easy to end up down at the bottom of that hill. One more look at Daniel peeking out from behind that tree, saving that par. Moving right along to hole 2. Shorty here, par 3, 198 feet. Just kind of a straight putter shot, maybe an overstable mid if you want to play that right side and hyzer it in more aggressively. Or I guess you could take a forehand line up the line that the drone is taking here as well and just play it into the hillside. And by the way, I got to thank Sky Hyzer Productions for sharing all of their drone previews with us. Our normal drone pilot with Central Coast, Peter Mares, was not able to make it to this event, and none of the rest of us are particularly skilled with a drone, so it was a lifesaver that Sky Hyzer was generous enough to share their footage with us. Thanks again, guys.
Yep, great job.
I believe they were out here covering FA1, so check out their channel on YouTube as well. Although in this case, their coverage is also on the PDGA channel, just to be clear.
Looks like players opting for the slightly bigger gap on the left. Oh, not Daniel.
Yeah, that's the line I would play, but I'm a pretty much exclusive backhand player, which is why I didn't even think about that forehand line until I saw the drone flying that way. But it's obvious. It's right there.
Yep.
Chancey aiming for the, what I would call the forehand line, but with a backhand Annie. I guess that mitigates the chances of a rollaway on the hill coming in, parallel to the hillside.
Yep, I think that's the key play there.
Yep.
Chancey with about a 40-footer here. Not quite.
Yeah, a little low left side for Daniel there. Oh no, Axel. Well, you don't expect to see struggles like this on a 198-foot hole from MA1 leaders like this. Mm-hmm. There it is. Good birdie, Carson.
Let's go, Owen. Way to bounce back. Get one of those strokes back right away. Whoa.
Kind of weird reaction by the basket there. Good thing it stayed in.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
No.
The whole spit out thing. And Not great.
I mean, these baskets here are great. They don't really spit out. That one was weird. From the camera angle, we couldn't really tell if he was a little right side or left side since I was, perpendicular to him and didn't have his perspective. But in any case, the basket caught it. Good par save from 3 of our players here and a couple birdies.
There's one of those birdies.
Carson just pitching it in there. I would imagine this hole averaged probably half a stroke or more under par, Jake. Is that right?
Yep, 0.47 under. Makes sense.
Yep. Hole 3, par 3, 219 feet. Probably plays more like 280 or so, though. This hill is pretty steep, and there are a lot of trees at the top of it. That's the most significant challenge of this hole. You kind of got to pick one of these gaps here. You could go to the right of the tree that the drone's flying to the left of now, or take the exact flight of the drone. Either way works, but it's tricky to miss those trees. As you can see here, there's not really like a predominant gap at the top of the hill, and those trees are a good 50 feet short of the basket, so they'll definitely keep you outside the circle if you hit them. That was a really early release there for Carson. Someone was happy. I want to say that was on a different hole, though.
Yeah, check out those gnarly roots. It almost takes the skip out of play, Might be tempted to just shimmy it up there, but man, those kind of block that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Axel. Rough start. I mean, like I talked about in the intro, the players have just been dealing with a crazy schedule. So I'll remind you again, they played until almost 9 p.m. the night before this, played at 6 a.m. the day of this round, didn't really get much time to recover before starting this round after finishing round 3. It's been crazy. So that's definitely a factor for everyone.
Yep. Looking great.
A little deep right, but I think he'll have a putt from there, maybe 40 or 45 feet.
Yeah, not sure if that big tree is in the way or not.
Axel chipping it up there. Leaves him 15, 18 footer for par. Good looking bid from Carson there. Just a tiny bit high. And something I meant to note about Carson on hole 1 is I also found out today that he was the college disc golf match play champion earlier this year.
Oh, wow.
Central Coast was actually there covering the event, but we did not cover the match play, so I'm unaware of that. A little bit high left for Chancey.
He gave it a Chancey.
I'm sure he's heard that one a few thousand times.
Yeah, I had to do it.
I enjoyed it, though. Thanks, Jake. That was a good putt from Daniel back there, behind the tree, a little hyzer around it. Good par save. And here's Axel for his par.
Yes, sir.
Owen with the par as well. And everyone taking a par on that one. Pretty tricky for being only 219 feet.
Yep, uphill blind, kind of a lot of trees. Right in the heart.
Moving on to hole 4. This is a 276-foot par 3. First hole out here at Northwood Black that feels, Northwood Blue, that feels more like park golf than woods golf. It's a nice hyzer shot here. The only thing you don't want to do is skip too far left because there's a steep hill. For those who remember past years of tournament play at this course, this was hole 1 of Northwood Gold, which is now a layout that doesn't exist.
Look at that. That's ideal there.
Good shot. Tiny bit wide for Owen. Looks like the preferred play on this hole for most competitors is that wide hyzer out to the right, playing the skip. But there is that straight shot to the left of those trees as well with a hyzer finish that works.
And that is what you're going to want to do.
Axel playing it to perfection.
A little bit wide. Ah, yep. Very good. Whew.
Yeah, there's the danger. He didn't go too far down that hill, but it was close. This may not look like much of a death putt, but if he's running it, it actually kind of is with that hillside. Now it looks like he knew that and he elected to just lay out. Smart play, Daniel.
Yep. Owen is just getting after it, man. Leaving it all on the table.
Yeah, I'm sure he came here to win, and he's got the skills after knowing that he shot a 5 down at Northwood Black, which unfortunately we didn't catch on video because he wasn't on lead card. He may have been if we had a lead card, but we had a feature card back then.
Nice putt, Chancey.
Good birdie.
Another nice birdie there. And Axel. Boom.
Drop in. There we go. On the board. Taking another look at Axel's flawless drive here. Nice little stock hyzer shot, but still, when you put it under the basket, you get the slow-mo. We'll be right back.
It's always so exciting when we get new plastics of the Passion, but I always end up falling back on the stock ones. And I like to say its closest counterpart is the Buzz. I think my absolute favorite way to throw it is dead straight and just watch the beauty of a straight flight. They've become a staple in the Discraft lineup and also in people's bags, and to know that people everywhere are enjoying the Passion as much as I am. That's just really exciting for me.
Ledgestone. Every summer, hundreds of disc golfers flock to the greater Peoria, Illinois area to compete in the sport's richest and most charitable event, the Ledgestone Open. But what does Ledgestone look like for the rest of the year? On the surface, Ledgestone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose the retailer that's as passionate about the sport as you are. Choose Ledgestone.
And we're back. Hole 5 is now actually only a 200-foot par 3. The basket was moved to the short pin in an attempt to shorten the round duration here and finish before the thunderstorms in the forecast in the afternoon. The pin placement is off to the right there by that dead stump that you see. We didn't have a drone preview with that placement because the original plan was to play the par 4 placement down the hill to the left, but that can add significant time to a round. There's lost disc potential down there, and it's really steep and muddy, and so I think the PDGA made the right call given the forecast to shorten this hole. There is one other hole later in the round where the players will be playing a short tee instead of the long tee that was originally planned.
Great shot from Chancey. Sliding her up. Loving the aggression out of Owen. I respect that. Just get after it.
Yep, everyone getting up there. Except Axel. This is a tricky putt here with that tree right in his line. He goes with the Annie putt. Yeah. Ooh, good catch by the basket there. And good putt from Chancey as well. Good birdie.
Mm-hmm. He made that hole look so easy. His drive was just kind of just lobbed it out there.
There you go, Owen. And he's erased that double bogey that he started with. Back to 10 under. Good birdie from Daniel. And good birdie from Carson as well. Almost got the star frame.
Dang it, Axel.
And Axel with the par. So that actually puts Carson at 11 down
Anybody
now,
missing
tied
any
with
watermelon?
Axel for the lead. With Owen just one stroke back at 10 under. Ooh, good basket,
Yep.
good basket.
Mm-hmm.
Moving along to hole 6. This is a 321-foot par 3, nice and straight off the tee with a hyzer finish if you're throwing a right-hand backhand down into this sloped green on the left side. It is pretty sloped and it's easy to get, more ground play than you're aiming for. But usually, even if you do that, those logs there behind the basket will stop your disc from sliding too far. Oh, a little too much Annie from Carson there. Just kind of throwing straight. You might have some kind of a putt from there, but those trees look like they're going to be in his way.
This looks a little better.
Fade.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good shot from Chancey. Owen kind of making the same exact mistake as Carson, just going a little bit too straight. Let's see if Daniel can put the right amount of hyzer on this.
Played it pretty straight as well.
He did. They're all kind of making the same mistake on this one,
Right.
except for Chancey. Let's see if Axel can correct. Get that stroke back. That looks better. Maybe a little too left. Is that gonna? Yeah,
Yeah.
It's tickling the stuff on the corner.
Fortunate kick.
Open look though.
Oh.
Almost. Okay. He didn't go too far. He's still got a look.
Oh, wow.
Great Annie putt there. Those are tough, man. And you could tell he didn't want to put too much spin on that given the sloped green. He kind of did a lobbed up Annie putt. Hard to control the angle with a putt like that. Great putt.
Yeah, and you can't hear it in the coverage, but he was actually talking to his caddy, and he was worried about the layup. So looks like he just decided to go for it, and it paid off. Yep.
Oh, good dodge, Keenan. Oh man, doesn't look like Owen's going to have much to work with here.
Yeah, it's a
That
bit
is
of a tricky lie.
It's a tough one.
Just sit down. Okay.
Wow, that was pretty fortunate ground play after hitting that tree. That looked like it could have popped up and rolled a lot farther. At least he's there for the par. Chancey gets the birdie.
Yep. 2 very well played holes in a row for Chancey. He's feeling it.
Axel with the par save, and with Carson's birdie there, Carson takes the lead now, 12 down, 1 stroke ahead of Axel. And Axel is just 1 stroke ahead of Chancey and Owen. Man, it's anyone's game at this point.
Is this the first time Axel's been not in the lead or tied for lead the whole tournament?
You know, it's tough to say, given that the first half of the tournament we just had a feature card and we didn't, we don't have hole-by-hole scoring where we can see what the standings were after each hole. Of course, we could check every player's scorecard and try to figure it out, but we don't actually know.
Right.
But no, he started the previous round, the 3rd round, in 4th place. Owen, with his 5 down at Northwood Black, jumped from, way down, like 7th or 8th place into 1st place.
Fair enough.
And Axel fought his way back from 4th place to being tied for 1st with Owen throughout the 3rd round that we saw at Wildlife.
Gotcha.
Moving right along to hole 7, a 240-foot par 3 with one of the signature greens out here at Northwood Blue. Nice little ravine before the green. If there is water down there, it's casual. Beautiful green here. I love this shot. Nice and straight. For those of you who are familiar with Northwood Gold, the previous hole and this hole used to be a combined hole that played as a par 4 on Northwood Gold, in case you recognize this green. But players were throwing at it from a very different angle, playing the old Northwood Gold hole.
That was an interesting play, but it kind of worked.
Wow, he split those trees. Parked.
Awesome.
Interesting. Owen going with the forehand hyzer here on the left. Just got to fade before the bushes or go over them, I guess. Ooh. A little deep, but he's probably circle's edge back there, I think. He might have a putt.
Oh, yeah.
Nice drive there from Daniel.
Yeah, they must be seeing something that I'm not, because it didn't look very open on that side. But
Yeah, I would personally go with just the dead straight shot right at it.
Right.
This one.
kind of a tricky lie there. Good up.
Okay, Owen does have a look from back there, straddling out from the bushes.
Oh, yeah.
Great putt. And we couldn't really see it from that angle, but that was definitely a death putt, because if he missed that, he was going into that ravine that's short of the basket, which, honestly, you're still in the circle down there, but yeah, as you see from Axel, it's tricky, because it's super uphill, and it's slippery and muddy down there.
Right.
Not tricky for Axel, though. Good birdie, sir. Oh, no, Daniel.
Man.
A little lapse in concentration there, focus. That's too bad. Good birdie from Chancey.
That's 4 in a row for Chancey.
Yeah, look at that. And a par from Carson. So now we've got Axel and Carson tied for the lead at 12 down. Owen and Chancey tied for third place at 11 down. Man, it's just neck to, or whatever, just some kind. I can't even talk. You know, just a battle out here.
It's that good.
Beautiful putt from Owen there.
Neck and neck.
That's thank you, Jake. That's the expression my brain was looking for and couldn't finish it. I think we're as exhausted as the players were out here. Hole 8, par 3, 309 feet, dead straight shot, really beautiful hole. This is one of my favorites on the course. It's kind of a very traditional disc golf shot, you know, but it's just beautiful. I love this whole park. Both courses out here. That's the tree that gives this hole a little uniqueness and a little character, just leaning out into the fairway. The higher you go, the more it comes into play. Oh, good shot from Owen there. Maybe a little bit too stable of a disc choice, but he'll have a long look.
That's the other tree that's leaning out over, kind of blocking the shot a little bit.
Oh no, Axel. And Axel's kind of been struggling a little bit this round.
A little bit.
For how short this course is and how he's played throughout the other rounds. I would expect a few more birdies out of him like we're seeing from Chancey and Carson. Actually, Owen's kind of struggling a little bit too, but mainly just with that double bogey start. After that, he has turned it around a bit.
There's that tree again.
All right, come on, Daniel. Let's see a good shot on this hole. There's that tree.
Those two trees, man. Forming almost a triangle you got to get through there.
I think that's part of why I like this hole. You know, at a glance, it looks like a very typical traditional disc golf shot, but those two trees make it very unique.
Mm-hmm.
Axel pitching up there. He's going to have a circle's edge comebacker for a par.
He's dealing with that tree again here. And he misses it.
Leaves it a tiny bit short, but he should be all right. That looks like about a 20-footer maybe. Chancey pitching up the forehand. Perfect. Yeah, Carson laying up. Wanted no part of that bid.
This man is not laying up.
No.
I don't think I've seen him lay up yet.
Well, that's probably how he shot his 5 down on Northwood Black.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Right side for Daniel
Yeah,
there.
it's 2 in a row, strong side. He's going to have to make a bit of a correction.
Man, I know I keep saying it, but I really would love to see Owen's 5 down on Northwood Black. If he maybe had a caddy who was getting some cell phone footage of him out there or something, leave a link in the comments if it's posted anywhere. I'd love to see it, and I'm sure other people would as well.
Definitely.
5 down on Northwood Black is the score that would put you in contention playing Open.
He beat the field by 7 strokes?
By 6.
6 strokes.
The second best score was 1 over in round 2 at Northwood Black. Yeah, good comebacker there for par. You can run the birdies if you make the comebackers, and he usually does. Yeah, Chancey with the par as well. Yeah, looks like we're just going to see a bunch of pars here, and I believe a bogey from Daniel. Struggling a little bit on the green today. Taking another look here at Axel's comebacker for par. Beautiful. Way to focus up. And moving on to the last hole of our front 9 here, hole 9, par 3, 354 feet. I want to say this is one of the hardest holes at Northwood Blue. Really tricky, narrow fairway, kind of a gentle anhyzer the whole way, or a very subtle hyzer with a forehand that you don't really want a whole lot of finish on. And as you can see, extremely thick rough on both sides of the fairway.
Turn, go.
Man, he hit that line so nice. Just went a little too straight.
Yep, so you just want a tiny bit more turn than that with a backhand. That's looking good from Owen. Yeah, that branch he clipped, I think, made it start fading out a little earlier than it otherwise would have, but still a good shot. This hole I actually feel like is a little bit harder than some of the easiest holes on Northwood Black, which is not saying much, but it's interesting that they got a hole on Northwood Blue out here that's quite a bit more challenging than most of them, I'd say.
Right.
A little deep for Axel. But honestly, hitting the fairway and getting down there is the main thing you want to do on this hole. It's not a bad one to take a par on. Oh, no.
He's going to have some work to do.
At least it kicked into the fairway.
It did. Might have an easy little forehand pitch up from there. We'll see. Just needs to turn over.
Ooh, beautiful hyzer flip. Oh, man, I would have loved to see that finish. That was a great shot shape from Daniel. It looked like too much hyzer out of his hand, but he knows his bag. That disc definitely flipped over and probably would have worked out if it just turned a little bit sooner.
He was opting for the backhand. Catches the hill a little bit weird, but he'll be all right there.
And here's Carson's third. Conceding the bogey, laying up, and that's going to be the first red on his scorecard for this round.
Oh, man.
So close for Chancey. What did this hole average, Jake?
Hole 9, let's see. Over par, 0.56 over.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. This one is a tricky one. How many birdies?
Only 5 birdies on this one.
Owen. His left there. There's Daniel for a par save.
There you
He
go.
gets it. Man, his drive was so close to being great. I always get excited for a good hyzer flip, as I talked about in earlier rounds. Owen tapping it in. Yep, Carson with that bogey. I mean, if it's going to happen, it's likely to happen on this hole. Everybody else taking pars. No birdies, so we'll just take a look at Axel's drive again here. It was a beautiful shot, just went a little bit deep into the rough as he watches it glide down that fairway. And that's going to wrap up our front 9 here. We'll take a look at the scores. Axel is in the lead by 1 stroke, sitting at 12 under par, with Owen Hamilton, Chancey Green, and Carson Smith nipping at his heels, all tied at 11 under, 1 stroke behind him. I am so excited to watch this back 9, Jake. This is the most exciting type of final round we could hope for. Come back and join us.
See you in a bit.